Hey, welcome back to the Chalk Sports Podcast, and let's talk about the NHL playoffs, my entire predictions, everything I'm thinking about, and we're starting at the top. In the Central, Avs Kings is the first one we're going to break into, and this one is easy for me. It starts on the 19th, and it's in the Avs state. It's in Colorado, and that doesn't matter. It's going to be an Avs steamroll session. I don't see the Avs sputtering. They're the number one team for a reason in pretty much every stat. And the Kings are not bad by any means, but it's definitely not a team that I fully believe in right now. They have been on a hot streak, so give them the credit where it's due. But I just don't view them as a team who's insanely impressive. They've never fully impressed me. They've never been anything crazy. That's why they sit kind of on that boring, bad side. They're not on this chart. They're not very well ranked. And that's not a good sign for a team. So that one's easy. There's no questions about it. It gets a little harder here. Wild versus Stars. This is a matchup of dreams, man. The Wild have a 50.7% chance. There is a 0.3% chance difference between the Wild and the Stars. And it is a tight-knit battle for me. The Stars won the first game, Wild won the second and third, and then the Stars won the fourth. So it's even a season split. There's injuries that do matter. Quinn Hughes is day-to-day. Zach Bogenson is day-to-day. And Charles Stamo is out. With Miro Henderson is day-to-day. Rope Hintz is out. And Nathan Baston is out. I do factor that Rope Hintz injury a lot. That is a big impact. If he can get back into the games on game 3, that would be huge. Now, if you look at the chart per se, that you see that the Wild do allow less goals for. They get more goals. They get less goals for. The Wild gets more goals for, but allow more goals against. So that does put them. Oh wait, I hadn't misunderstood by the Kings, by the way. That puts them in a really weird spot where they are a good team. Do not forget that they are the Wild are 11th in expected goals, and the Stars are 13th. So it is a very tight-knit race, but I do factor in injuries a lot, and I think that the Stars being banged up does kind of screw them. Give me the Wild to upset the Stars, and then we're going to go Avs Wild. We're going to break into that one. It's easy for me. The Avs are the best team in the league. There's a reason why that team is projected to win the Cup at a 12.7%. It's going to be an Avalanche. Give me the Avs to make the conference finals. Golden Knights versus Mammoth, the next one. And this one is easy for me, but there is a point I have to make. Adin Hill is a problem for the team. Adin Hill has been dragging down this Golden Knights team the entire time he's played. The Golden Knights have been on an ice-cold streak lately, especially against the Mammoth, where they lost both of their games, and games where I'm pretty sure Adin Hill struggled. He has been in... Oh, it was Carl in that one, but you can factor that one less. Oh, wait, that was the Mammoth goalkeeper. But I have had a hard time believing in this Golden Knights team very recently. Yeah, Adin Hill. He started the game and gave up 3 shots instantly, and they pulled him. The same thing happened in this game, I'm guessing, because he has been ice cold. Oh, it was Carl Lindebaum. But he has been ice cold, and I do not trust him at all. They are graded 4th for a reason. They're still a very well put together team, but there's something so unreliable and inconsistent about that team that scares me so much. You look at the team, they're very well built. You see throughout the entire month, they've been amazing. Their players have been good. There's a lot of guys up there. There's a lot of good that's come from them, but the expected goals against has been on a heavy rise for a little bit. It has been intense, and I just worry about that so much. Where is their defense going to fall apart? I don't think it will in this spot, but I definitely think this series will be close. I'm going Golden Knights, but barely. Remember, this game could be close. Ducks versus Oilers. It's time for postseason Oilers. The Oilers sweep the Ducks. Coming into this game, I feel very confident. And I don't even really have to overly think about it. I'm going Oilers. The Oilers are on a hot streak. They're one of the best teams, especially when it comes down to April. I don't have a lot of faith in the Ducks right now. Oilers versus Golden Knights. This one's tight. I know the Golden Knights statistically are leading in every category. They should be dominant. They should be the best team. They should be easy predictions. I don't think so. I actually have a very hard time picking them to win this game, win and move on to the next round. I don't really have a lot of faith in them. The team has been too inconsistent. They've been pretty unreliable as a team in total. Aiden Hill not playing at a good level has been concerning for me. And I think that's something you have to factor in that says, hey, like, worry about this. This is something that needs to be considered. The Oilers are also very good in April. Whenever they get to this spot, they find a way to make it far. And I think that's why I feel confident going Oilers to win over the Avalanche or over the Golden Knights. Avs versus Oilers. This one's just as easy. It feels chalk. But I'm gotta go Avs. I don't have a team that can beat the Avs. They are clearly the best team. They've been the best team throughout the entire season. Let's get into the Atlantic. Sabres versus Bruins. This one's easy for me. I know I keep saying that. The Sabres are going to win this one. It's their first time in the playoffs in forever. The Bruins did win the Series 3 run, but I don't think it matters. Now, I do think that the Bruins are a very well-built team, and they've actually been pretty solid throughout the season. I just don't trust them enough. And I think that especially a team like Buffalo, who's in this position, who's like really trying to make their mark. They finally are in the playoffs for the first time in forever. They barely have made the playoffs lately, or they haven't made the playoffs in so long. I can't even remember the stat, but it was insanely long. They finally get their chance. They're 11th in expected goals in the last 10 games, which is you can kind of I prefer to factor that more than the all season because there's definitely been injuries and there's been weaknesses. I don't trust the Sabres, but I think they're better than the Bruins. And that's a very fair thing for me to say. I'm going Sabres. Lightning versus Canadians. I love the Habs. Do not get me wrong. I think the Canadians are one of my favorite teams in the upper echelon because they're so fun. They're such a fun team. They're well built. They're kind of built on hope and a dream. It feels like Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield. These are guys who weren't considered stars. They did win the series in Series 2-2. But I think would be foolish to fade a Lightning team that is so well built. Between Vasilevsky being a little inconsistent, but Kucherov being one of the best offensive players in all of hockey, it feels foolish to not pick the Lightning. And I'm not going to be a fool. Give me the Lightning. Sabres versus Lightning. Experience versus talent in my mind. I have a hard time looking at this one because this is a combination of two teams that are in different spots. They're in different lengths of life, it feels like. There's the Lightning, who are old. They're older. They've been to this spot more. They're kind of a slower team. If you look at their expected goals against, they sit on the good side. They sit as a good goal against. They sit as a good goals for. They're solid. The Sabres struggle with that. They allow a lot of goals. They actually are negative technically in expected goals against versus expected goals for. And that's why I feel confident in going Lightning to win that one. I think the Lightning are actually a very well-built team, and I think they're one of the better teams in this bracket for sure. I feel very confident saying that. Hurricanes versus Senators. This one is an uncomfortable one. It's a scary spot for the Senators, man. I think they're going to get swept. It's going to be tough because for the Senators, they have made it far. Give them credit where it's due. They are not one of the best built teams. They're not one of the most expensive. The Hurricanes have been an onslaught. If there's a team that threatens the Avalanche, it's the Hurricanes. And they have been rolling, and they're such a scary team. The Senators are good. Do not get me wrong. They're sitting in that good square for a reason. They got kind of screwed by the conferences, basically. Because if they were in, let's say, throw them on the Pacific specifically, I think they could be potentially in the conference finals. Against the Hurricanes, though, I have a hard time seeing it. Penguins versus Flyers is probably the closest and most boring one. I'm going Penguins. I think they're a more fun team. They're a more reliable team, and I just don't trust the Flyers. Philly is an advantage, but I don't know if I can just believe in that Penguins team. The Flyers may have flown under my radar. You see what I did there, but I just don't trust them. Stuart Skinner is decent when it comes down to these times. He's good enough to where it works. Vladimir is reliable, but I just don't trust this this Flyers team to win these games. Give me the Penguins. Hurricanes versus Penguins. This game is so easy. It's Canes by a mile. The Canes are a unstoppable force. I'm so confident in that Hurricanes team. There's a reason why they're sitting pretty at number 2, pretty much. The entire reason they're number 2 is because they are so powerful. Look at all those players. All these players are considered snipers. Good players who can goals versus expected goals. They're not considered lucky. They're not considered unlucky. They are reliable. They are safe. And that is such a huge impact when you look at the other side. Let's say Pittsburgh. Sure, you got a bunch of cones over your head, but there's a level to this. There's levels to this game. And the side swipe is so noticeable. If you look at the side, like, we're leaning towards expected goals are more likely for the Hurricanes. You see how tight it is? There's one guy breaking over 1, and he's at 0.1, versus the lowest guy is Ehlers, and he's at a 0.84. It's something to take note of. Hayes is above all. And also, I forgot about the goalies. They have the goalies thing where, where's the Hurricanes? Bussy has been kind of reliable. I guess it's not going to show. Where's the Hurricanes? Brandon Bussy has been reliable. Expected goals saved above expected. He's been good. Expected goals saved against. He's been reliable. He has been a good goalkeeper. And on the other side, for the Flyers, or for the Penguins, it has not been fully the same. Stuart Skinner is he's about even with them. Oh, never mind. He's way above. Never mind. But I still stand with it. Oh, wait. We were talking about Lightning, Hurricanes. Whoops. I got distracted. Was I? I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. Lightning versus Hurricanes. This one is tough. You can look at it from a lot of ways, but it's Vasilevsky versus the Hurricanes offense. How can you stop this Hurricanes offense? Because, honestly, this is very close. Their power rankings, I'm pretty sure, are leaning towards, obviously, the Canes being number 2. But the Lightning are definitely not bad by any means whatsoever. The goaltending is the only scare for me in the Hurricanes department. If you look at goaltending, the worst teams in the goaltending are like Sharks, Canucks. The Hurricanes are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the bottom. On the other side, the Lightning are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from the top. They have that advantage. But everything else goes to the Canes. And I think that is just the one factor that I have to put in. I'm going Canes. You see those scoring chances, 8.2%. It's an onslaught. Hurricanes have found a way to make such an explosive onslaught of an offense. So give me Canes. Now for the impossible one, Avs versus Hurricanes. Listen, I just gave the Hurricanes so much hype. I barely talked about the Avs. It makes it so hard. But I can't believe in Brandon Bussy in this scenario. Listen, I love the Avs. Or I love the Hurricanes. I don't think I can trust the Hurricanes to have a reliable goalkeeper in Brandon Bussy. Especially when their ability to win is so close. Their scoring chances are a decent bet. It's probably it's 2x. The Avs, it's like 1.9 or something lower, but still a very big difference. The power score is pretty even. Everything is close, but goaltending matters a lot to me. It matters a lot. It makes the difference. And if there's a team that has been the best in their conference the entire season, it's been the Avalanche. There was one game where they weren't at the top, and that's in a division where, by the way, they are the Stars. They're playing against the Stars. Hurricanes have struggled kind of throughout the season early. Like, they pulled through at the end. But I just feel confident in going with the Avalanche. The Avalanche are my champions by a mile. It feels close. I think there's going to be a 6-game series. Avalanche pull it off in Carolina. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. If you comment what you guys think, make out your predictions. Let me know. Click the link, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.